Hey guys, I'm here with Amber, the founder of Ivyhillpr. And Ivyhillpr works with small and medium-sized businesses based in the New England area that are really just looking for help with strategy pertaining to content marketing, public relations, and video production. So today I brought Amber in to talk about how your visuals tell a story and how you can really just use those to your advantage. And she is an expert in all things pertaining to this topic. So at this point, I'm going to hand it over to Amber to start us off with just kind of breaking down some tips and tricks for what you need to do to get started and excel going into the new year.
Yeah, so thank you so much for having me on, first off, and thank you for the kind words. So, just a little bit of background. I'm a director of photography. I'm a creative first and foremost, but I have a funny little goblin brain that is able to do a lot of strategy and a lot of research. I wanted to write Jeopardy questions as a child. So, that is my background, right? So I'm always interested in what's the story, what's the information, very nosy. And I think that applies to my love of visuals because there's so many ways that things can be interpreted and there's so many ways to communicate. So something like, okay, I want to explore what my goals are and I want to see what it might look like to advance my business in a certain way. Well, you need to change the perception of your brand in order to level up. So, what does that look like from a visual standpoint? That might look like, all right, I want to be on that podcast. I need to do like a pitch or whatever that's called to them. What do I need for that? Well, you're going to need good headshots. You are going to need to have a media kit that summarizes what you do specifically, and that needs to match your brand. So all of it ties together through this visual medium for something that ends up being audio, which kind of throws people off a lot of the time. Like they're like, wait, I'm just like being on a podcast. Can't they just hear me on the phone? Oh, they want to know who you are beforehand. They want to be able to like start cutting together show graphics very quickly. They want to have the information they need. So the easier you can make things, the better. And visuals are a great way to speed up that process efficiently. So yeah,
So,
that's
what are
one
the
thing.
three main visuals somebody would need to really get started?
You absolutely want to have, well, it depends on if you are like what your industry is and if you're B2B or B2C. And then consumer packaged goods and like if you're going to do products, that's like a whole nother ball game. So yeah. So let's say that you are a service provider and you really want to be on a lifestyle TV show. I'm pulling from one of my clients right now. So you're a service provider, you want to be on a lifestyle show. You've got, a couple years under your belt with your business and you're feeling pretty stable, but you're ready to make that little next push, not necessarily jump, but just like a little, dip in your toe. So what does that look like? That definitely looks like making sure your headshots are up to date. Right now, this client, their headshots are not up to date. They know it. They need to get a haircut. That is the one thing that is holding up the whole headshot process. Do not let one thing hold up your whole process for your visuals for your brand. Your brand will cry. So, that's one thing, really making sure that, okay, visually, what are the graphics I need? What are the different colors that I use in my brand? And how does that come through when I try to show something like a one sheet, which is, bread and butter for public speaking engagements and anything that you're trying to pitch? It's literally like if you think about, oh, I'm an actor, I have my headshot on one side and my resume on the other, or like, oh, I have a standard resume, but God forbid I put my picture on it. This is the time where you're going to put your picture on it. And you're going to have some quotes that you've done. There's a lot of different templates and a lot of different ways that you can communicate this, obviously, and you need to put your own flair on it. So making space for that is what is going to drive your business forward in 2024. Because if you're not differentiating and you're not letting your story shine through, even if it's a static image, I mean, what's the mood you want to create when somebody interacts with your brand? Do you want to feel really like, tell it like it is. I'm edgy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna like drop the truth. Or is it, oh, we're very like ethereal and floaty and, like we're just gonna think and be, that sort of way. Or is it, something completely different? I don't know. But it's your job as the visionary of the brand and the business, or, the one that's being brought in to help find that vision, to communicate that in a way that makes sense and visuals. Oh, You need strong ones. So the headshot, making sure that your graphics are set and having those visuals. And then finally, people want to see you in the moment. You're going to want those lifestyle photos. You're going to want those branded photos. So if you're doing product, for instance, we have a wellness company where they're looking to level up, and part of that is taking their product photography to the next level. So we worked through, okay, what are the shots that you absolutely need in terms of having, your e-commerce site and, the white backgrounds, the things you expect. And what does it also look like to have some stylized images that show off the personality a bit more? So both of those things serve different purposes, but they're both visuals that matter. So that's why we baked it into, their overall visual strategy. Because I could have gone up to them and said, "Oh yeah, I'll cut you a lovely video. We'll
Mm-hmm.
do a lovely hero page video. Money, please." Like, no, 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 no. No, they need more than that hero page video if something is going to be holistic and they're going to be able to use those images for, as long as they have the same brand logo and identity and all that. So that's what really matters. Those three things, if you can have that, or if you're a service provider, yeah, I want to see you interacting with a client. You don't need to do the cheesy, like, I'm behind a laptop and we're laughing and looking at each other. Like everybody does that. What does it actually look like? Are you laughing? Are you consoling somebody? Is there, we have somebody who they always wear the same necklace when they, do their Reiki and stuff like that. Like, is there something that's an element that people can see when they interact with you and say, oh, that? Because we
Mm-hmm.
know what the data says. The data says you got to have at least 7 times of somebody interacting before they even think about a purchase. I
Yep.
mean, yeah, I'm notorious for this. I have wanted to buy this one pair of boots for 2 years now. Oh, well, I'm not going to say the brand because like they're going to be so sad. But like, let me tell you, I have not empty carded because I don't believe in that. But I have scrolled on multiple ads. They have probably sent me at least 20 ads just to buy a pair of $200 boots. But it's like just enough of a level up where I'm like, I'll think about it. But I've been
Mm-hmm.
thinking for a while and it's still showing up. Of course, I want them, you know? So think about that with your customers. How can you break through the swipe by what you're creating organically? So, yeah.
I think that is all super valuable, especially like when you said, how do you break through the swipe,
Yeah.
right? So putting all of
Hmm.
these different components together are vital to getting somebody to even look at you, right? So I hope that is something that is super valuable to all of the viewers and they get a good takeaway out of figuring out how to make their visuals all align and also tell a story. And if anybody wants to get in touch with Amber, I will let her know how to get in touch with you.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for having me. And again, visuals matter, but so do your words and your story. So take it all into consideration.
And how can people get in touch with you?
People can get in touch by visiting www.ivyhillpr.com. You can find us on Instagram, on YouTube. We're actually working on a series right now called Working on It, where we're going to be highlighting different people's projects that they're working on. So whether that's like a personal, hey, I crochet on the side, or a, hey, I'm doing this big work project. We really want to involve the community. So if you're interested in anything like that, feel free to get in touch. We'd love to connect.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.